So good evening, everyone. Maazi Ezeoke once more here. Welcome to Njenje Media TV. We want to discuss today the APC primary in Edo State. As the news has it, the primary has been done and a winner has emerged. Also, we want to look at Obaseki Defection to the People's Democratic Party, the PDP. What next for the people of Edo State? How did Edo State actually get into this mess that they are in now? To have that conversation with me here in the studio, I have Mr. Edwin Ogunbor, who is an APC chieftain. I have also here Mr. Segun Oshinaga, a political public analyst. We will also later be joined by Mr. Alwan Hassan, a public policy analyst and social commentator who serves as the CEO, Grey Cube Dynamics and Aslat Integrated Resources. Now, this evening, please welcome in the studio Mr. Segun Oshinaga and Dr. Segun Oshinaga and Chief Edwin Ogunbor. Gentlemen, welcome to Njenje Media Studio.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
My pleasure.
We can see that a lot of people are already watching us online. And here we want to start with this evening we want to look at Edo State. Now, can we start by actually looking at the crisis rocking the Edo State and the governance in Edo? There are two folds. One says there is one they call the party problem. The question thereof is, how did this problem actually start? How did Edo State get into what we can all agree that it is a mess? How did Edo State get into this? I will start with Dr. Segun Oshinaga. Doctor, sir, how did Edo State, in your view, get into this?
How did Edo State get to this? Well, you must understand that, number one, because Edo State is the political base of the suspended national chairman of APC, Adanto Shongmole. He was the godfather to the governor there. And things fell apart between them. And in his attempt to remove him at all costs, we have brought the party to this state. Now, the remote cause is that within the APC itself, there are two strong factions. There is the faction. Now don't forget that APC came together as a party because several parties, CPC, ACN, AMPP, New PDP, and one other party came together to form APC. Now, unfortunately, we have not been able to be melded together. We will never truly become an organic party. So you have the different influences struggling for power. Now, this time there are two broad factions that are struggling for supremacy. And Adanto Shongmole represented one of them. And of course, Edo State, Obaseki became the first port of call. Since it's the first election on the road to 2023, this is the first election. It will be followed in October by Ondo. So it is my view that these two factions are trying to see who dominates, who wins. And I call it at once in one of the 2023 presidential election. So Shongmole and those he represents stand on one side. Several governors who are opposed to that tendency bound themselves together, are opposed to Shongmole's attempt to impose a new governor. So that is the situation as we speak. And it's unfortunate that this has turned the party right down the middle. Now, Oshamale has gone to APC. Now, don't forget that yes, he's gone to PDP as a borrowed platform. This fight is strictly between two factions of APC. So one side has moved to PDP, but don't make any mistake, it is still being fought as two arms of APC. And there's a precedence for this. In 2016, when Oyegun was chairman, the tendency that Oshamale represents were not at the helm of affairs. They had a candidate in Ondo. They went to AD. They sponsored their own candidate through AD against APC's candidate. And they were defeated. So now this is reversed. They are now at the helm of affairs of APC. So the other faction have no choice but to find another platform to fight from. That's my understanding of where we find ourselves.
Okay, so when you started by making allusion that the party was an amalgam of various political parties. Now, would it be fair at the formal would it be fair like the formal Goodluck President Goodluck spokesperson Doyin Okube, who said that is a coming together of strange bedfellows? Would it be fair to make that analogy? And therefore, does it mean that the party, even when it has existed for 7 good years, is still yet to be cemented to become a party?
That's a fair description. The truth was that APC was an amalgamation of parties and interests that wanted to throw Jonathan out of power, and they succeeded. But since after that, the factions have refused to fully match. Everybody is standing on its own. And therefore, we are where we are. Actually, it's a situation of strange bedfellows. People who actually don't have similar ideology, political ideology, but who found APC as a convenient vehicle, a special purpose vehicle to seize power from PDP. And because we have not fully fused together, it's bundling. And unless serious immediate action is taken, it does not look like going forward, APC can exist as one united party.
Wow. Wow. Chief Edwin Ogunbor, I mean, if I bring the same question to you, what, in your view, do you think is the reason behind the mess Edo State finds itself? Is it part of political, political process, or is it beyond what we all see every single day? What do you think, in your view, is behind this political struggle in Edo? Chief Edwin Ogunbor.
Well, let me make some clarification on the coming together of strange bedfellows. APC did not really come together for purpose of removing President Goodluck Jonathan. This movement started in 2007 by then Major General Muhammadu Buhari, when he on the political scene had to tell the opposition parties that no one single opposition party will be able to dislodge PDP from the national. An attempt was made at that time to form a mega party. President Buhari was there, Olufalaye was there, Balarabe Musa was there, Pat Utomi, and so on and so on. So, but in 2011, when the political opposition parties now realized that they could not dislodge PDP, then the proposal came between General Buhari and Asiwaju Bola Tinubu for a CPC and ACN to come together. Where it started, then we had ANPP coming in, part of ABGA, led by Rochas Okorocha. Then this is how APC was formed. Yeah, I will agree, strange bedfellows, because we all had different ideologies when it comes to political activities. So we all came together to form APC. I will go back to the question how all these why all this crisis, why we are on the crisis. Well, the first substantive national chairman, Chief Oyegun, from South Edo State, came in unanimously, and at the convention, he was elected as the national chairman. Midway, like Dr. Oshinaga said, various tendencies came into play. It became very obvious in the Ondo governorship election. When a candidate of a tendency did not win that governorship election, it was a different person that won. Then the tendency that wanted the governorship candidate in Ondo State wasn't happy. Then it became a struggle between the national chairman, Chief Oyegun, and the tendency we talk about. Then the removal of Oyegun started. So they needed, like, if anyone from Edo State as national chairman was removed, they needed another APC member from Edo State to replace Oyegun. And at that time, Governor Oshomole was at the verge of completing his 8 years tenure as governor of Edo State. Then Oshomole was now presented as a replacement for Chief Oyegun. So this is where the crisis started. The crisis started. Governor Obaseki was part of those that teamed up with Comrade Oshomole to replace Chief Oyegun. But the dynamics had changed. Obaseki now realized that he had to retrace himself from what they did to install Oshomole as the national chairman. And added to that, Oshomole came in and was now like another godfather. We all fought godfathers in Edo State when Oshomole was there, and we said the era of godfatherism was over. Obaseki did not want to accept another godfather. He wanted to be the governor and also govern the state. That is where the crisis in Edo State started.
Okay, so thank you, thank you very much for that clarification. Now, as it is today, we are aware that the APC have had their party primary, and that Pastor Ezeoke has won that party primary. However, that is a faction, actually. Now, there is another faction that says that the election that was conducted today when they go to court, could be null and void because it is not the authentic party. Now, Mr. Segun Oshinaga, what is your view about the faction that, the election that was held today? Do you think there is a legal, a locus ground for this primary to have held today? Or do you think is the other faction that is the rightful faction to have conducted this election? Go ahead, sir. I think maybe something is wrong with your speaker. I can't hear you, sir. Come in. Can you try again, sir? No, I can't. For some reason, I can't hear you. No. Mr. Edwin Ogunbor, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Exactly. So I think maybe your device is playing up. Could you try to log? Could you try to log back again, sir? Maybe that would help to, yeah. Okay. So Mr. Edwin Ogumbo, do the same question that I asked? What do you think is happening here? Oh, okay. We now have. Okay, hold on. We now have Mr. Alwan. Alwan, I think he had some technical issues. Alwan, once more, is a public analyst and a social commentator who serves as the CEO of Great Cube Dynamic and Aslat Integrated Resources. Alwan, thank you very much, and you're welcome to the program. I can see that your speaker is muted, Alwan. Can you please unmute your speaker? Yes. So Alwan, you're welcome.
Now. It's on.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Maazi.
Okay. So, Mr. Segun, can we try again? If it works for you. Oh, Mr. Segun is locked out. Okay, I come back to you, Mr. Ogunbor. So the question that I asked before is the primary election has been, the APC primaries has happened in Edo State. What's your view in that primary? Is that the rightful faction to have conducted that primary, or do you think is a primary that is likely to be challenged in court and later be overturned? Mr. Chief Edwin Ogunbor, please.
Thank you. Let me welcome Mr. Alwan to the show. You're welcome, Mr. Alwan.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I have always believed in the constitution of our party, APC, and appointing members into the National Working Committee and also NEC. There's a process. The convention will bring out all these party officers in NEC and the National Working Committee. Where we got to this problem is because certain people in the National Working Committee were either on suspension that was not validly handed over, suspension that did not go through the due process, suspension that did not adhere to the constitution of the party. What I mean is this: the deputy chairman, not Senator Lawa Shwaibu, was suspended, and it did not go through the due process. Neither did it go to NEC for ratification. The national vice chairman, Northwest, Inua Abdulkadri, was also suspended. It did not go through the due process, that is ratification by NEC. So that is against the party constitution. In the absence of Senator Lawal Shuaibu and Inua Abdul Kadri, then when a session of the NWC went to court challenging the authority of the national chairman, Comrade Adams Oshomole, led by Mustafa Saliu, initially the court ruled that Comrade Adams Oshomole should not parade himself as the national chairman of the party. Then what next? The deputy national secretary, in the absence of a national secretary, our national secretary became the governor of Yobe State. In the hierarchy, believed that he would be acting as the national secretary. Well, the court at the time gave a ruling that we should maintain the status quo. That was the reason Comrade Adams Oshomole came back. But the recent judgment by the appeal court that Comrade Oshomole will cease to be the national secretary. The reason the deputy secretary. Sorry?
No, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
The deputy secretary, Victor Yedom, that went to court, came back and said he would be the acting national chairman in the absence of Comrade Oshomole as national chairman. Thereafter, we had Hilliard Ita coming out to say he would take over as the acting national chairman. Some of us see these things as just impunity and also a disregard to the constitution of our party. That is not what the constitution tells us.
Now, from your own perspective, who is the authentic chairman of the APC?
Yeah, that's where I'm going. Legally, according to the court ruling, Victor Gedom is the acting chairman of the party. In essence, the primaries committee set up by Hilliard Ita, is unconstitutional. He had no mandate to set up that primaries committee.
Illegal.
But we will wait. The primaries held today, and they told us there's a candidate, Ezeoke. There will be actions following. I'm not going to preempt whatever action will be taken, but I'll tell you, we are into a long run in this process.
Wow. At some point I thought I thought by the virtue of the fact that the governor has moved to the PDP, that the crisis is coming to an end, that Edo State will be gearing towards September to elect their new governor. But from your last statement now, it means more battle ahead. Now, let me come back
let me tell you why, Maazi.
Okay.
You see, the APC structure in Edo State, headed by Anselm Ojezwa as chairman, did not move. The APC structure is still there. This structure, headed by Anselm Ojezwa, told us he's still in APC. Like I told you, I'm still in APC. But the legal processes they started a long time ago is still on. From the time it was established that the world chairman, Ward 10 chairman of Comrade Adams Oshomole, suspended Adams Oshomole from the world level. That is where the power is. First, Adams Oshomole is first a world level member of APC before he became national chairman. That's where the reason is. It's going to be a long run, I assure you.
Yeah, but the word suspension is worth, we saw over the weekend that already has been lifted. and they said everything is now fine. Anyway, I'll pick back that on from. I'll pick back on that, and our one probably will going to join us back. And let me come back to Dr. Segun here to see if you've your audio is fixed now. Now, what do you think, as the question that I put to Chief Edwin there, what is your view regarding the election that was conducted today? Do you also consider that election to be an illegal election by the APC in Alwan, please?
It is in the
sorry, go ahead.
It is in the eye of the law and of APC constitution, null and void. Why did I say that? The body that set up the election committee have no powers to do so. The Senator Ajimobi that is being named the acting national chairman is an illegal thing. Don't forget that since what the appeal court ruled is that what the High Court ruled that Oshiomhole is suspended stands, which means all the actions that Oshiomhole took since that High Court ruling is considered null and void. Senator Ajimobi was nominated to be the deputy national chairman South during this period. The national acting secretary was nominated about this same time. So in the eye of the law and of the constitution and in the eye of the courts, since that ruling was given, I think it was in March, every action of Oshiomhole till date is illegal, null and void.
Okay.
Which means that there is no way Ajimobi can be chairman, and there is no way he can nominate ETA. There is no way ETA can nominate election committee. So everything rests on that singular illegality.
But
therefore, it cannot stand.
There is another argument. There is another argument stating that what the Victor Gordon's faction is holding, the argument is that what they have is an ex parte order. Ex parte order expires every 2 weeks. So in that case, that means ex parte order that was obtained in March has already expired.
Well, are you aware that Victor got another ex parte ruling this past week?
Okay.
So which makes it lawful for him to assume the post.
Okay. So let me, Alwan, can you please unmute yourself, because I put you on mute before. Unmute yourself. Then can you take this same question, Alwan? The election was, the primary election in your party was done today. That is the same question that I have asked Chief Edwin and Dr. Segun. The question I also posed to you, Alwan, it's that election of Pastor Ezeoke. Does that election stand? Alwan, you can go on. Welcome once more, Alwan. Alwan, you have the podium now. You can go on, Alwan. Alwan, can you hear me? You appear to have been frozen again. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, can you please take that question, Alwan? I think he's probably now. Alwan, let me take this for the last time. Alwan, can you hear me?
can you hear me?
So let me, Alwan, can you please unmute yourself because I put you on mute before. And can you take this same question, Alwan? The election was, the primary election in your party was done for. That is the same question that I have asked Chief Edwin and Dr. Segun. The question I also posed to you, Alwan, it's that election of Pastor Ezeoke, election start. Alwan, you can go on. So Alwan, can you hear me?
Maazi,
yes.
Maazi, are you asking me about the primary elections today?
Yes. Alwan, you have the podium now. You can go on.
Okay, can you hear me, Maazi? Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Go on.
Looks like I have little trouble here. Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clear, but can you hear me?
Can you hear me? If you can hear me,
yeah, I can hear you.
Please take that question, Alwan.
That's what I'm trying to do. Maazi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I think
I can hear all of you. I can hear all of you, but you can't hear me.
Alwan, let me take this for the last time. Alwan,
can hear me. We can
yes,
hear
I can
you,
hear you.
Alwan. Yeah, just go on. We can hear you.
We can hear you, Alwan.
Okay. Okay. Talking about today's primary elections and the issues in Edo State, I need to tell.
Can you hear me?
Let me just break this down. Let me just break this down to Mr. Segun Oshinaga. I understand he's in Edo and he's an Edo person. And I would like to explain this to him. The battle going on in Edo, presently is a battle between, is an example of the same thing that is happening in Edo State. The way Mr. Segun is speaking,
it's that election of Pastor Ezeoke.
Maazi, can you hear me?
Yes, Alwan, go ahead. I can hear you clearly.
Maazi, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
Okay. So I was trying to give Mr. Segun an example. I was trying to give Mr. Segun an example of the battle going on in Edo State, and if not being careful, it will destroy APC in Edo State just the way it destroyed APC in Port Harcourt. The whole problem will now be in a mess. Unless if Mr. Segun and Governor Obaseki have an agreement that we want to destroy APC in Edo State, then we will join you in PDP. Because that is exactly what is playing out. This is a governor that has fought the national chairman of his party. We tried to push in party supremacy, and the governor now has defected to the PDP. He left behind some members of the APC that are his supporters. They now want to destroy the APC in Edo State, then they will now go to the PDP. It's simple. If at all.
Okay, Mr. Segun, sorry, Dr. Segun there. I think his internet is a little bit unstable. He was going to come back. Mr. Segun, can you take that point that he made that, that was a direct information there that there is this plot to destroy APC in Edo State to incapacitate it like the way it has been done in Rivers State. Is there any iota of truth in that?
The people that want to destroy APC are those who want to muzzle and shut down every other view in the party. Those who want to destroy APC are those who refuse to accommodate others who don't share exactly their point of view. If you want APC to grow and be able to win elections, we must learn to subsume our personal ambitions and interests in the interest of all. So one part cannot be exercising uncontrolled power and expecting the other to keep quiet. And when they talk, they are saying they want to destroy the party. Excuse me. So
Okay.
it is those who refuse. It is those who refuse to bend, those who refuse to allow the voices of others to matter, that are intent on destroying the party. Life is give and take. You can't win everything. You can't say is the highway, is my way or the highway. What you will get is there will be no way for anybody. So we need to take our steps back and in a trustful give and take, allow the voices of others to count. Now, what does that
about the primary elections today?
Yes. Alwan, you have the podium now. You can go on.
Okay, can you hear me?
is that
So, sorry, go ahead.
what
Yes.
speaking?
Go ahead.
Can I go on?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
So the point I'm making is that those who want to shut down the voices of others are the people that want to destroy the party. You can't have everything your way. If we're going to be a party, everybody is going to contribute. You will win some, you will lose some. But where you want to win everything, naturally, people will fight back. So what has happened today in Edo is that those who want to win everything have forced Obaseki out of the party. But mark you, the battle is not between APC and PDP. Make no mistake about it. Obaseki has only gone to use the platform of APC to fight back. And I can guarantee you that there are several governors in APC that will defend him and support him. And hopefully, when he wins, he will find his way back to APC.
So are you actually?
So it's blackmail.
Are you actually telling?
It's blackmail.
Are you actually telling PDP on a national TV?
Alwan.
Are you actually? No, Alwan is not yet back. But are you actually telling the public and the PDP on the national TV that that the man is to use their platform, get re-elected, and go back?
Well, what I'm saying is that they forced him out of APC, and there are those who believe in. You see, Obaseki and Yamu are only pawns in this chess game. They are pawns.
Okay, so thank you very much for that clarification.
Even Oshinaga himself is a pawn, forcing themselves on APC, who are behind all these games. But what I'm saying is that, like Chief Edwin said, it's a long thing. It's a long thing. Those who called for the primary election are illegal, unknown to APC constitution. Ajimobi as acting national chairman is unknown to the constitution, because at the time Oshomole appointed him, Oshomole had ceased to be the chairman by the High Court judgment in March. So whatever Oshomole did from March till now is null and void, is illegal.
Okay.
So it's go ahead. Okay.
Okay, so now let me bring back Chief Edwin Ogunbor here. Chief Edwin, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, because suddenly I think NEPA has done its or PHCN. We can only see a blank screen without seeing any more pictures. So Since you heard what the question posed by Hassan when Alwan when he joined us, Alwan Hassan. Now, the question that he actually posed was that there are, if Kai is not taking the party in Edo, APC in Edo will be destroyed by those who are currently pushing that the crisis within the state. Do you agree that he made a direct accusation to Dr. Segun that they are the ones to destroy the party? Do you agree that the party is going to be destroyed within Edo State?
Okay, Maazi, maybe did you put me on mute?
No, I didn't. You're here. We can hear you.
Okay. Well, we are all APC members here, and we are sharing views from our own understanding of what the party constitution is all about. I want to say here that I am for party supremacy, and that is the constitution, not an individual. The party supremacy doesn't necessarily refer to the national chairman or any other individual. Party supremacy is driven by the constitution of the party. Now coming to Edo State and what Awa said, Dr. Oshinaga is not from Edo State. I'm from Edo State. And it's not, he will not come in there to act destroying the party. The party has not been destroyed. Just some individuals left. Like I said here, the party structure is still on ground, from state to local government and to the world level. It has not been destroyed. What we're saying, we have a candidate now for APC through the primaries today, whichever way it came up. And that person is Pastor Ezeoke. The next stage is who will be the candidate of the PDP. It is not as straight as we look at it. PDP will still go for their primaries. Then they will have the candidate. If it's Godwin Obaseki, then we have Godwin Obaseki in the governorship election against Ezeoke. You see, it's like a swap. The last time in 2016, Pastor Ezeoke was the PDP candidate.
Hello, I think Chief Edwin there.
And governor did. Obviously, the bottom line is Edo people will decide. It's not APC or PDP that will decide. Edo people, the electorate in Edo State will decide.
Okay, can I ask this question? We all read last week when the primary was announced, and there was this press statement that the Imo State governor was going to lead that primary. But was that primary held today? Was that led by Hope Uzodinma as well?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, Hope Uzodinma led this primary today that saw Yamo emerge. Now, can we take this question? Before the 2019 presidential election, the National Assembly under the former Senate President Bukola Saraki had a bill, the electoral bill, that was handed over to the national, to the president for accent. And the president argued that it was too close to the election. And one hoped that, and he made a comment. Sorry? You said you can hear me. Can you hear me now? Sorry. Chief. Okay. Chief Edwin, you can hear me, right?
I can hear you.
Okay. I think the connection from Dr. Oshinaga is a little bit wobbly there, so he's going to come back to us. So my question to you, sir, was, the president had a bill that was sent to him for assent, and he didn't. He kind of said that once they come back, or whoever wins the 2019 presidential election will have to sign the bill. So why is it that 1 year after that election, the electoral reform bill that was sent to him has not been signed? Had that bill been signed, do you think that Edo State will be in this mess? Would that bill not have taken part of what is now ongoing? Would that bill not have taken care of some of the things happening now?
What aspect of the bill are you referring to that would have solved the Edo State situation?
Well, generally, because now when we look at the Edo issue, we now see,
so why is back. Year after that election, the bill, the electoral reform bill that was sent to him has not been signed. Had that bill been signed, do you think that Edo State will be in? Would that bill not have taken?
It appears you are using a different device to watch and a different device to speak. Alwan, is that the issue?
Aspect of the bill are you referring to?
Maazi, what are you saying?
Well, generally, because now when we look at the door,
it appears you are using a different device to watch and a different device to speak. We can
I'm using the StreamYard.
The electoral reform bill that was sent to him.
I'm using the StreamYard.
Had that bill been signed?
Yes.
Do you think that
is it on speaker? I don't know, because we can hear ourselves. The echo. Okay. On that case, Alwan, I will need to, sorry.
Generally, because now
it's bad. Anyway, sorry, gentlemen. Sorry for that. Echo. I don't know what's happening, but it appears the echo is coming back. Now, sorry, what I was just trying to make a general comment here, because it appears no one talks about the electoral reform bills that apparently would have the issue of emergency of candidates could have been taken care of, or if that, I think in that bill, correct me if I'm wrong, that they had a section in that bill that dealt with the camping. So if that bill was to be in operation now, would it have been easier for people probably to decamp the way it is being done now? Because obviously, I don't know, many people watching would agree that this issue of changing parties as if boxers are being changed doesn't help our democracy. Rather, people should have had independent candidates, which I think that bill took care of. Where if we had independent candidacy, the best thing probably for Obaseki to do in this case, where this issue has been happening, is to probably move and become an independent candidate. Alwan, can we try once more to see if that echo?
I don't know. Many people watching would agree that this issue of changing parties as if boxers have been changed and help our democracy. Rather, people should have had independent candidates, which I think that bill took care of. Where if we had independent candidacy, would the best thing probably for Obaseki to do in this case, where this issue has been happening, is to probably move and become an independent candidate. Alwan, can we try once more to see if that is done. So,
can you take that
many
on,
people watching would agree that this issue of
I'm listening. Can I talk?
Yes, go ahead.
Looks like we're in like 3 different forums.
People should have
go ahead.
Independent candidates which are picked up you took care of.
I'm absolutely against movements from parties to parties. If there is anybody that is most hit in that movement, it is we, the young people. Usually,
can we try once more to say,
Maazi, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Alwan. We can hear you.
Okay. If there is anyone hit, with the movement, it is us, the young people. Because usually when you have that movement, it is a former governor or a former minister or a former House of Rep that will now defect from a party to your own party, and before you know it, he has become a flag bearer. The same thing that is happening in Edo State. I am not in support of that. But in the case of crisis between the governor and the party chairman, the national party chairman.
Yes.
Okay. In that case, it is solely Governor Obaseki's fault. I will tell you why. The president has constituted a committee chaired by the Senate President Ahmed Lawal to
Okay. I think Alwan is frozen once more. I will bring him back again. So we will continue. Something is not playing up. Something is not playing right this evening with his connection. Now, if we move now to the PDP, yes, we all are aware that Obaseki has moved to the PDP. Now, Chief Edwin here, what's your take that, do you believe or do you have that confidence that Obaseki is going to clinch the PDP ticket? And if he does, what is the place of those people within the PDP have been in the party for so long that suddenly they have now been jettisoned, and someone who came into the party within the last couple of days is now being made the party leader of a party he just barely joined a couple of days back?
I will not talk for PDP members. The top hierarchy of the PDP negotiated with Governor Obaseki.
Okay.
So the agreement reached will be binding. And also, in the political party APC or PDP, the governor is the leader of the party in the state. So they just have to deal with that. They don't have any option. Now, going to the election proper in September, Governor Obaseki has achievements to show in Edo State. When you go to the grassroots, they tell you what he has achieved. What are the achievements? What are the achievements of Ezeoke in Edo State? He has nothing. Any sector you look at, Obaseki has record. What to show why he deserves a second term. What is Ezeoke bringing to the table? His achievements? No. He has always been an appointee of various governments up to Comrade Oshomole's time. That's not his achievement. That was Comrade Oshomole's achievement. So his achievement against non-achievement. That is where we stand. And I also end again, like I've always said, Edo electorates will decide.
Now, but yes, of course, Edo electorate will decide, but one must not lose sight that when two elephants fight or when gladiators fight, that the grass surrounding them are the ones suffering. The question now to you, sir, once more, before I bring in Alwan once more, is has Obaseki actually performed as a governor, in your view?
Of course, he has performed. I go to Benin, I talk, and they tell me about his achievements. Let me say, this is not a question of two elephants. I've just said it. Achievement against non-achievement. It's an elephant against a paperweight in terms of achievement. If we want to go the right direction in this our democracy, that is what we should look at. Someone that has not achieved anything. Why is he bringing out to campaign? Is it to smear any other candidate when it comes to campaign? No, sir. That is not acceptable. That's not the type of the democracy, the change we fought for in APC. And like I've told you, the last time I was here, I moved from ANPP to CPC to APC. I've never been in PDP. The change of APC is change of achievement. That is what the government of President Muhammadu Buhari is all about. Some people may see in different light. We can give you an achievement of President Buhari the same way we can give you achievement of Governor Obaseki. It was the achievement pre-2019. We all voted President Buhari back. It's achievement, achievement, achievement in all sectors. That is it. Can you hear me? Maazi, can you hear me? If you can hear me, Maazi, I'm through. I think I've answered your question. Achievement. What are the achievements of Ezeoke in Edo State? He has nothing.
Okay. So at the end of the day, I mean, as you clearly pointed out, that Ezeoke, because he hasn't occupied any executive post. So let's try once more with Alwan now. Alwan, you can hear me? And let's try. Yeah. Yes, your system is now better. So I think that echo has gone. So can you once more make your contribution again, please, Alwan?
Okay. I thought, have you had that part I was saying about the constituted committees that were supposed to do reconciliation?
That cut off there. Can you go ahead?
Okay, let me repeat myself. Why I am saying Governor Obaseki is the issue in this matter when it comes to Edo politics. It's because the president himself constituted a committee immediately after election, chaired by Senate President Ahmed Lawal, to go around and settle issues that had happened pre-election, during election, and after elections. This was 2019. Obaseki came out and said he doesn't have confidence in the committee that the president constituted. The Senate President stepped down and Chief BC Akonde became the chairman. He still said he didn't even listen to them. He refused to listen to them. These are two different committees, leaders formed by the president. That is one. That is true. Third, Aliko Dangote, who happens to be the person that introduced Obaseki to Comrade Adams Oshomole, intervened sometime last year around the period of Ramadan, went to Comrade's house and saw Obaseki, tried to reconcile them, and today he is disappointed in Governor Obaseki. This is the same person that has refused to inaugurate state assembly, depriving people of their representation. And you want to tell me Governor Obaseki has built infrastructure. Governor Obaseki has done this, has done that in Edo State. Someone that has refused people of their representation. 14 members of the State Assembly refused to be inaugurated by him. Just do another proclamation, call these people and swear in the house and let them start working. You refused for 1 year. So who is more of a dictator here? Is it Comrade Adam Oshomole or Obaseki? That left side. Now he has left. He's gone back to the PDP. He's gone to the PDP. Since they have moved to the PDP, can they just move with their structure? Because we already have an existing structure in Edo State that is from the ACN. Let them move with his supporters to the PDP. This is the same person that said in general election he would defeat us, that the people of Edo State like him. Why would you now leave some elements of your own persons in the party to destroy the party in the state? And now, maybe after destruction, they will now move to the PDP. In all this, it is the innocent people of the APC and the state as a whole that are suffering from this. My point exactly is, I am of a party supremacy. I solely have spoken. I haven't gotten the chance to speak with Obaseki, but I've spoken to a lot of his people close to him, and I've spoken directly to my national chairman. I have understood where the problem is, that Governor Obaseki is actually the problem. And I've told a lot of people that are working with Obaseki, when I speak with them, we have a structure in Edo State. I have an existing structure of the All Progressive Youth Forum in Edo State. In fact, our zonal national coordinator, or our zonal coordinator, is in Edo State, Amos Cole. So I get first-hand information of the happenings politically in Edo State.
So, Alwan, can I ask? Hold on. So, Alwan, can I ask this follow-up question? You said,
go ahead.
You said that Obaseki left the APC and left some people to destabilize the party. Then the question would be, how do you know? Are you one of those, or has anybody told you that he was left behind to destabilize the party?
Okay, I'll tell you this, Maazi. I'll tell you why I'm saying this. There is no way a state party chairman will point a finger on the national chairman, if not sponsored by people like Governor Obaseki.
Well, if you put it that way, there is no way, equally, if you reverse it, that a sitting governor will be refused by his own party, where they have all the arsenals to win an election. You refuse him on frivolities where you say Obaseki, because of NYSC, that which he has actually gone back, and his institution come back to say these certificates are in order. Yet, even without appealing his disqualification, you already gone ahead and said that his appeal is null and void, is rejected. When he hasn't.
There is a reason why. Maazi, there is a reason why.
Does someone who doesn't board a plane have a plane crash? How can swallow someone?
Maazi, there is a reason why.
Okay, please tell us.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, maybe I am a political small boy, so can you tell us why, please?
Yes, you know why?
Yes.
Comrade Adam Oshomole won that election in 2016 for Governor Obaseki. Nobody knows him. He's not a politician. He's a technocrat. And when he came in as a governor of Edo State, he refused to use the party structure he met on ground. He started calling his people from Delta State, Lagos State, and other states to come and be appointed in a state where you have an existing structure that voted you into power. This was an issue for even Comrade Adam Oshomole himself.
Okay, so
can I say something?
Yes, Dr. Segun, please go ahead.
Awa, I am glad you made a very significant confession. You said you are of the ACN. You see, the problem we have in the party is that you, ACN, The party does not consist only of ACN, for your information.
So APC is still
perhaps, listen to me. Maybe CPC carries more weight in that marriage. And you guys want to run out everybody else but ACN people. A marriage that cannot work when there is no genuine partnership. You are trying to overload everybody, trying to push everybody away. It's an ACN agenda that Oshiomhole himself is carrying out. And like I said, Obaseki is just but a pawn. The battle is not between Obaseki and Oshiomhole. Don't let us deceive ourselves. It is about the masquerades in ACN who wants to frustrate the masquerade from other tendencies. That is that's playing out.
I'm liking this conversation now because something is actually coming out here. So the conversation
Mr. Segun, let me tell you something. I am a product of CPC, but I will tell you, if not for the ACN intervention in 2015, we couldn't have won election. Buhari couldn't have been president today, if not for the measure by the ACN. I'm trying to tell you that the ACN are a bigger stakeholders in this movement. I am of the CPC, but I'll tell you the truth.
The problem
it's not a problem, it's the truth. It is not a problem, it's the truth. Let me tell you. President Muhammad Buhari.
Hold on.
President Muhammad Buhari.
In 2015, how many states did APC win because of the influence of ACN? How many states the CPC that the person of Buhari won? You cannot compare. The ACN is less than 20%, and you are trying to take over the whole thing. That's the problem. Until you guys are humble enough to understand that other people contributed to the victory of President Buhari, everybody should be fairly treated, fairly and equitably treated. Until you agree to that, all you are asking for is crisis.
So basically,
Maazi, please, can I correct what Alwan is saying?
Okay,
let me correct Alwan.
Alwan, hold on. Let me bring Chief. Let me bring Chief Edwin here. Chief Edwin, go ahead, sir.
I'm surprised Alwan from the CPC Legacy Party saying what he's saying. In CPC 2011, CPC got a total of 12 million plus votes, a lot more than other parties. So Alwan from the CPC party, I'm surprised you're saying that. Before you join us, just listen. Listen. I told us here, when you mentioned party supremacy, I said I agree with you on party supremacy. What guides the party is the constitution, not the supremacy of an individual. I made that point here. And again, we should not come misinforming our viewers. Why did Obaseki refuse Ahmed Lawal as the chairman of that the committee? Before then, National Assembly just stepped in and wanted to bring back those House of Assembly members in Edo State. One, the legal reason is if a governor makes a proclamation to swear in this thing, it's not done a second time. And the National Assembly just came in and said those people should go and resume just like that. And now the same person, an interested party, was made the chairman of a committee to look into it. When Obaseki protested, well, people saw with him, the leaders saw with him, the reason Chief Bisi Akonde was now later appointed as chairman of a reconciliation committee. Look, if we had to say all this, where we started, where the problem started, it's not Obaseki or Oshomole Viston. It started pre-2018. Well, you know, I've said it before, when Chief Oyegun was removed and Oshomole replaced. You know, let's put this in behind us. CPC continuously, Buhari since 2003, consistently have been bringing 12 million voters. No other person did that. When we are going into this merger, this issue came up. Was
Absolutely.
it the issue of you have so and so states? How many votes came from the Southwest? How many votes came from the Southwest? You know, it was an issue. We had from CPC 12 million plus votes. What came from the Southwest with 5 states or you know thereabout? No, the Northeast and the Northwest brought a lot of votes that gave us majority in this APC election 2015-2019. That is a fact. Howard, please know that you are a CPC. I'm surprised you say this. The IPC youth, this thing you are talking about, Ishmael Ahmed is the national coordinator. You know that? In this conversation, I'm the one from Edo State. I can tell you what is happening in Edo State. Not what a youth coordinator will be telling you. These are youth. Please don't say that.
You see where the problem is.
Okay, Alwan, go ahead.
Maazi, you see where the problem is.
Go ahead.
They don't see us as anything. They don't see the youth as anything. They don't see us as players.
Yeah, but
even the game.
He is of the same CPC like you.
I know. Okay,
yeah.
Let me explain. Let me tell Mr. Edwin why I said that the ACN stands as the biggest stakeholder apart from the CPC. Why I say that is because since 2003, he even confirmed it, that Buhari has been getting 12 million votes, but he couldn't make the presidency. He couldn't be. He was not president in 2003. He had 12 million votes. He was not president in 2007. He had more than 6 million votes. He wasn't president in 2011. He had 12 million votes. He had the same 12 million votes in 2015 and was president of the country. So why wouldn't we ask ourselves, who did this miracle? I know a lot of people are involved. I know.
I will answer that. I will answer that.
Okay.
I will answer that.
The biggest.
Let me answer that.
Mr. Edwin, you want to answer?
Yeah, don't worry.
No, you asked a question. I want to respond.
Asked a question about miracle, so he wants to answer who performed the miracle. Go ahead.
No, see, you're talking about 2003, 2007, right? Nuhu Ribadu, on the platform of ACN, contested the presidency. What did he get? Just 1 million plus. Abubakar Atiku did the same thing. What did he get on the ACN? So you see, when we discuss this, put figures on the table, and then you do an analysis. Yeah. They did not bring it. I just said it before you came in. I said it that General Muhammadu Buhari in 2003, after this thing, realized the need for opposition parties to come together. It didn't start 2013, 2014. Even when it started, I mentioned those who were there, the ACN, AD parties. They were not there. I mentioned the names of those who were there. Yes. Right? The Bola Tinubu name did not roll. From the AD talk, you had Olufalai. Balarabe Musa was there. Pat Utomi was there. General Buhari did it. He wrote letters to all these things. Some of us have copies of those letters. The merger of the alliance of the mega party started from General Muhammadu Buhari. When ACN now realized that a regional party, ACN was a it was a regional party, right? Why the General Muhammad Buhari did not win those days with the votes he got was the national spread. That's it. You had PDP had the national spread. Buhari, CPC, ANPP did not have the national spread. Now to have the national spread, we brought the Southwest, brought part of Southeast, we brought the Northeast, the Northwest, and the North Central. That is the explanation for all these things. Are you with me, Alwan?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, I'm following.
Okay. So, Alwan, thank you very much, Chief Edwin, for that clarification. Now, let me ask this question. You know, Alwan talked about the refusal to swear in assemblymen in Edo, and Chief Edwin Ogunbor has already made some clarification to that. Now we'll come to Dr. Segun Oshinaga here. Are you able to explain to us, to the viewers, why Edo State again, because that appears to be an allegation from Alwan Hassan that against Obaseki here. Are you able to explain to us in clear terms why Obaseki could not swear these individuals in, even when they were elected?
Well, I am not familiar with the details of that. And I'm sure it's basically the infighting between a godfather and a godson playing rough. But let me say that the issue still is not about Obaseki. There are issues far bigger than those two. Those two are just
pawns, like you
what
say.
Are
mere pawns
what are
in a presidential chess game.
Can we have these issues that no one is
The
talking
issue
about? We have a masquerade as big as an elephant, and everybody is running around this masquerade. Can we mention the masquerade?
Yeah, the masquerade is ACN, and the other masquerade are those who are opposed to ACN. Period. Oshomole has been the master player for ACN, and the basic issue is that to be able to have advantages against 2023 are all these things. Edo is a pawn. Ondo will be a pawn. The same Ondo, they will push Akeredolu out of the party. Is the same script that they are going to use, and is to have advance advantage, momentum to be able to get to 23. But listen to me, it's not going to work. If you need APC to actualize your dream, let's build APC, not destroy it. Others will not allow, they will not go to sleep. They won't play dead so that you guys can ride over them roughshod. It's not going to happen. So the earlier we come to the table and collaborate, cooperate, and allow the true spirit of partnership, give and take, and arrive at a position that allows all of us to work together. So that's my position.
Okay. Now, Alwan made an, he alluded to the fact, bless you, Alwan alluded to the fact that Obaseki was not using the ACN structure, that he was basically inviting friends, inviting fellow technocrats in order to move.
APC, not ACN.
Oh, sorry. Okay, APC. He discarded the APC structure. Now, there is a comment here online, people watching, and he reads. He says that Obaseki discarded the APC structure because it was too costly. They were extracting a lot from him, and hence he has to run a lean government in order to get achievement. Do you agree with that assertion, Chief Edwin Ogunbor? Do you agree with that Obaseki had to discard the SCN structure and APC structure and run a lean government in order to save cost for Edo?
Like, we agree here that Obaseki wasn't a politician. He's a technocrat with a financial background. He runs a financial organization. And when you run such an organization, it is prudence. So he brought that into government. He was chief economic advisor to Comrade Adams Oshomole. We have seen where Comrade Adams Oshomole praised him to high heavens, that it was the backbone behind the success of his administration. Now, mistakes have been made. Let me say where probably Governor Obaseki made a mistake. When he took over, he considered the leadership of the party in the state to Comrade Adams Oshomole. I think that was a grievous mistake. In the constitution of the APC, the governor is the leader of the party in the state. Yes, he said he wanted to govern, and then those who want to play politics, the politicians, should go to the party secretariat. What is coming out now, I said it the other time on this program, and one of our participants said it. He loved the treasury. And I said here that when we met, maybe you were there, when Ismail Ahmed, as the APC youth leader at Sheraton Hotel, when we formed APC and they brought the youths together, I was there. The advice was that if you're coming into politics, you must have a second address. I was there. Chief Oyegun was there. Chief Ogbe was there. Late Hassan Lawal was there. And other people were all there. So when politicians just believe that they have to feed on the state treasury, that is wrong. See, infrastructural development is not servicing politicians. That is not. If you want, there are a lot of things. Some of us will not go into vying for any electoral position. We will not. We have the party structure. We go for party assignment. And all those things are, the third option you have is you can do business with your government. If you are competent, you have a company that is properly registered, you want to do business, do with your government. That is where you make money. And if you know, when General Buhari came in 1983-84, and some governors were jailed, why? The reason was that those governors were using government money to fund parties. You know, that was the reason they were jailed. We should move away from, just taking money from the treasury, money that is meant to develop and help the masses. So let's move. There must be a paradigm shift from the usual. When we came in 2015, what was the slogan? It's not business as usual. But now people are going back to business as usual. It is unacceptable.
Many people would actually, you were talking about not going back to business as usual. Many people would actually say that it has gotten worse under a government that promised change and promised to fight corruption. But on that note, I'll bring back Alwan here. Alwan, you actually was the person that alluded to that fact. Now, has been explained by Chief Edwin Ogunbor here, that Obaseki locked the vote of Edo State, and that's where apparently the whole thing started. Do you agree with that? That, probably the reason why he didn't use the APC structure is because it probably was too expensive for him to run. So he needed to run lean and give dividends of democracy to the people of Edo.
Maazi, I'm in absolute support of Mr. Edwin's take on
don't use the taxpayers' money to play politics. But at the same time, you must use style to service the party structure. This is a party that brought you to power, whether direct or indirect. Okay, he has said something about.
Right.
He has said something about having a company presenting to the state government and giving them jobs, executing the job, making money out of it, and service the structure. It's done everywhere. It's simple. It's easy. You don't have to take the money, a whole sum of money, cash, and give it to the party. No. Build a structure. I will tell you about the waste bin management in Lagos. It's run by the party structure. It's in as much as it's giving services to Lagos State. At the same time, it is a party structure that is running it. That's how it works. There is no way you can tell me a platform that brought you to government as a governor that you will not service it. You close.
But isn't that the same thing? Isn't that the same thing that was happening? But the case was, let's take the town or the park operators. The question was a question of modernization, rather than have where you collect fees daily unaccounted for. Then he brought in technology to streamline mode of collection, and people started kicking because the revenues before you can collect 1 million a day and maybe declare 50,000, no one cared. But the moment technology came in and accountability came in, and people started kicking. So again, those people he wanted to use are still the party members you are talking about. But the thing is that apparently people are too corrupt. Isn't that the issue?
It's not about being corrupt. I don't think Obaseki has tried the idea we're talking about. He hasn't tried any. What Obaseki did when he came in.
Victor was here in the last couple of weeks, who is an estate to Obaseki, and to Oshiomhole, and I asked this straightforward question. He said that he took away revenue collections from these people they call party structure, the ones that mobilize, grassroots mobilizers, meaning probably the ones that share money during election, whatever, I don't know. But what it meant was those that helped you win election, suddenly you came back, you now talk grammar. That was the words. You now are talking grammar, meaning you want to reform. You cannot reform a system that brought you in. Then what is the essence of government then? If you cannot reform a system that you met and you want to streamline it, you want transparency. If before, because I think that's what they do, each park, they give you this park and they give you this is amount you return. So if you're giving this park in New Benin and they say, okay, give us 1 million every month. If you make 3 billion, nobody cares. That's why you can see them buy convoys, build massive houses. But if somebody comes in and say, okay, now we want to look at this, can we take percentages based on what you collect? Again, trying to build the same party, but in doing percentages, it no longer favors you the way it favored you a couple of years ago or under previous regime. Don't you see where the issue is? Is it okay?
Okay. You see, there is a difference between enhancing a system to work for people and abandoning it completely.
So can you tell us what was abandoned?
He abandoned the structure of the party, he abandoned everything about the political party in the state. He brought in his own people, his friends from Delta State, from Lagos State, brought them into Edo State, gave them appointments, and started running a government with them. You don't do that. No matter what happens, you must service the structure. Servicing the structure, it's legal way, not illegal.
In the bigger picture, who wins? Is it that he abandons the party, quote unquote, which is debatable, and goes ahead to work for the Edo people? If the party becomes
Maazi, what has Obaseki done as per work for the Edo people? What has he done?
I think I will have to refer that question to my good friend Chief
We have
Edwin.
been around. I have been around for quite a while to understand that there is hardly anything very good that can be done, or even good that can be done within 4 years. This is a government that came in without money in the country.
No, okay, let me just point out. Let me just
clarify that
yes. You would have had that salaries are paid as at when due. You would have had that pensioners are paid as at when due. You would have had that teachers are paid as at when due. You know, that is it. I want to also point out here that you don't need to take money from the treasury. Now, when we started in APC, some of us wanted the biometrics of all party members to be done. What do you mean by that? When you do a biometrics, you are able to know your members, and your members.
Oh, I think Dr. Ogunbor is just been, his internet is just kicked him out, so he will come back again anyway. So can you oh, okay, he's back.
Can you hear me? So yes, when you have when you have the biometrics of your members, then you can go to establish who your financial members are. There must be a monthly due you pay as a member. Take, for example, if we are able to register 18 million members times 100 naira every month, you know what that comes to? Over 1 billion. That is where you run the party structure, not from the government treasury, not from the government purse. And you know, people just go into a government house, they live in, 5 million here, 10 million here, that is not. When you have financial members, that is where you run the party structure.
Exactly. Absolutely. I agree. So, Alwan, you appear to agree. That is how actually you run an effective party structure, not by.
No, but that's absolutely no. That's exactly what we have proposed, Maazi. That's exactly what we have proposed.
That's what you proposed, but in reality, you want to go back to the old ways of doing things that got.
No. It's not the old way. Let me tell you what the old way. Maazi, let me tell you what the old way of doing things is. The old way of doing things is, which I don't believe in, is bringing out the money from the coffers illegally and giving it to party structure. That's what I don't believe in. But as a party man, as a government, if I belong to the party, I have a company, a registered company, up to date, that will do works, and the government decides to give me a job. Why? Because I belong to the party and I have to service some certain aspect of the structure. It is okay. It's very okay.
Okay. Let me drive this now as an average Nigerian. Look at what the example you've just given as a party man. Let's take, for instance, how does a state giving you Alwan as a party man a job of 20 million service your party? Does that mean that when you finish that job, you take certain percentages from what you have been paid to go and give the party to run the party? How does that? Because
at least it's usually given.
You remain an individual.
No, a list is usually given in your structure. Usually we have structures of up to what level. So a list is usually given. Or you have your own list of how many people you have or how many people you take care of. There are representatives of every ward or every council.
So now,
usually that is what it is done. Then what we do is, when
you build it into your costs of that project. Is that what you're telling us?
No, not building it into your costs. You are given a job of 20M. You make profit out of that. You make profit, for example, of 5 million naira, which is the normal percentage is about 30% of the total sum. Once you make that profit of, for example, 5 million naira,
you have a list of party people you now serve. That is how it is done everywhere. And it's
now
okay.
what you are looking at,
No,
what you are telling me.
Let me correct that. Don't. It's a.
But you have to deliver.
No, Maazi.
Edwin, hold on. What you're telling me,
Maazi, please let me correct it.
What I see there is corruption, because if you run a company, you should be paying tax on that 5 million, and you should in your annual statement. I want to see how that money was spent. You know how the money was expended.
No. But of course you pay tax. I pay tax. There is
let
a withholding tax in the contract itself. Maazi, let me put this straight.
Let me help you out there.
Tax.
Okay, hold on.
Let me help you out. Let me help you out. It's not the way it's not the way you're putting it. The way it is done is this. When a contract is given out, you say, new things are just coming up with this new dispensation, not this Buhari government, from 1999 up to this stage. The way it was done, SDP, NRC, UPN, all those is this. You give out a contract. In that contract, there is a percentage of that contract sum that goes to the party structure. It's not to individuals.
Yeah,
that's the way it is.
That is corruption.
Listen, that's the reason I told you when Muhammadu Buhari came in as the head of state, and how some of these governors were jailed. That was the reason they were jailed. I said it earlier on. It may not be right, but it's not the way Anwar is putting it that you now give it to individuals. No, it goes to the party's coffers. Then from there, you run the party. It's not from government treasury.
Okay,
that's where the problem is.
Chief Edwin, I understand perfectly what you're saying, and I understand your proposal. But what bogs the mind of so many viewers watching now is, if you know that a party came to power to fight corruption, and you just gave a brilliant analysis on how to fund a party. Because if I decide that I'm a member of APC, because if I believe in the principles of what that party stands for, I should be able to at least minimum of 50 naira every month. If you calculate 50 naira every month times 12, it's barely, it's honestly, it's no money. It's barely 600, it's just 600 naira, 60. Isn't it? So yeah. If I take
have like 1 million
naira, hold on, if I take 100, if I take, and we say that you won the election with 15 million. Let's say that maybe 50% of the voters of your party members voted for you. That means you could actually boast of 3 million party members, 30 million or 20 million. Now, every month, if you judiciously get your people to pay 50 naira every month times 20 million, that is a humongous amount of money to play with. And you have a database of your party men. If you want to communicate to them, it's easy for you to communicate to them using modern technology. If you want to call party meetings, if you want to do direct primaries, everything is intact. The same way we have the national ID card, you could do something like that. But why is it that a party that branded itself as a change agent is not ready and able to embrace something like that can help the party and stop this corruption and stop this mess? Because to me, and many people watching, is nothing, sorry, but it's nothing but however we want to twist it, whether it goes to the company account, the company goes through the back door to pay people, or some percentage go to the party. However you look at it, it doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound right.
Maazi, yes. Let me come in this way. Maazi, okay. Let me come in this way. I am not saying it's absolutely right. I'm telling you that it is fairer. It is fairer in the sense that it is better you do that than to now push your hands into the coffers bring out cash and give. We have seen governments that service party structure from NSA's office. It happened in this country. We have seen governments that from CBN, they wire monies into individual accounts. I am saying this is a bit fairer. You understand?
Well,
a bit fairer because someone is given a job.
I think what we have to do is to measure the level of the corruptibility, whether money was wired from CBN
No. I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere, Maazi.
Okay.
I'm going somewhere. You talked about tax and everything of when you are issued a contract and your company's account and whatever. All those things will be paid. All those, in fact, it is almost automatic in Nigeria. It's almost automatic. There is 10% withholding tax in every contract you do that will be held for almost 6 months before you are given. Why? Because they want to confirm that you've paid your duly tax throughout the time you did those contracts. So it's always safe and secured in as long as it is a government contract you're doing.
Okay.
In fact, sometimes it's even automatic. Before they pay you, they remove 10%. 5% VAT, 5% tax. So it's almost automatic. So we don't have a problem with that. We do pay the taxes even when a party person is given a contract.
So what you now mean is even when the taxes is paid to the government, and the party will still go ahead and settle boys. Anyway, I understand that you don't need
with
to.
The tax.
It's a rhetorical question. You don't need to answer.
Understand. You don't seem to understand what I'm saying.
Well, it's as someone who is not into politics and as a technocrat myself, it sounds a little bit absurd. So that's why I probably will not understand, because the things I do are very straightforward. But it appears this is beyond me to comprehend. But let's leave it at that. So, we are rounding up now, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Now, in conclusion here, in your concluding thoughts here, what I would actually like to understand from all of you here is, what is the next thing for Edo? Where do we think this crisis in Edo is leading? Do you think this crisis will be resolved? Do you think it's, because when we started, we heard about the lawsuit that said that the Ezeoke's camp, that, the primary that brought him in today could be challenged. And if that happens, we'll see another Zamfara loading. And if that happens, APC has lost. So what is your projection? What do you think is going to happen next? I will start with Edwin Ogunbor.
Thank you very much. You see, what we are saying is just an internal crisis within the APC. So it's not the Edo in totality. Okay. It's the internal crisis in APC. What I foresee is this, and what I would suggest to our party leaders is that they step in early enough when we have a crisis. If I have to analyze what the problem we're having in this party, it started, I said it here, before 2018, the Congress that Chief Odige Oyegun, as the national chairman at that time, conducted, that we had parallel congresses. It started from there. Then 2018, Comrade Adams Oshomole came in, and what I expected was to do what we call rationalization. That is bringing different products of the different congresses together, and you come to negotiate a negotiation table, because you can't go back to another Congress, and harmonization. That wasn't done. Then we came again into this, what Dr. Oshinaga said earlier on, and you also said in Maazi, the coming together of strange bedfellows. The NPDP another faction. I can still tell you, the same way Dr. Oshinaga said, we are still not one unified party. We still have various tendencies. The ACN legacy party members still behave like ACN. The same with CPC, with ANPP and PDP behave like that, but somehow they left. Somehow Alwan will confirm that from CPC legacy party, we were left in the cold. When they are taking any thing, they leave CPC out. When President Muhammadu Buhari came in 2015, he gave us the assurance that those who fought with him will be rewarded. Yes, when you fight for a cause and for a principle, it is expected that those that fought on your side will be rewarded. Recently, Alwan is aware. Ishmael Ahmed did an interview with Channel Television recently. The same thing he's complaining about. Ishmael led the APC youth in this country, and he was recognized. If Ishmael had been, he wanted to go in as the national youth leader of APC. Maybe there would have been a change. Unfortunately, we missed Ishmael. In 2018, I went in to contest for the position of South-South National Vice Chairman, but we were prevailed upon to step down because Comrade Oshomole is also from Edo State. You cannot have two of us in the National Working Committee. I see a situation where APC will be reorganized. It's not the first time. You remember as soon as Goodluck Jonathan was sent out, PDP went through this crisis. From one crisis to the other, they set up caretaker committee. They came out stronger in 2019 to give APC the run for their money. So the APC is not dead. In Edo State, I'll tell you, APC is not dead. The structure is still there. My last comment on it.
Okay, thank you very much. And Alwan, I think we have some people calling on. So let's take this caller before Alwan, before I come back to you. Yeah, hello, welcome to Njenje Media. Who are we speaking to? Hello? Hello? Yes, go ahead. Who is on the line?
Hello?
Yeah, hello. You are live now. Who is on the line? Can you make your contribution quick, please? Yes, go ahead. Can we know who is speaking?
I'm one of your fans. I'm Faith from London, please. Yeah,
okay.
Gary. Yes, please. It's Gary from London.
Make your contribution, please. So.
Gary from London. Hello.
Go ahead with your. Stop listening to the device. Okay. You have another device playing back. Go ahead.
I heard about the election that took place today. It's Gary, please. Yeah. Today I heard about the operation, the APC election that took place today in Benin. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The problem I see there that I would say that Ezeoke emerged at the APC. Ezeoke came out at APC 3 with the election they took today, and eventually after that, he was saying to Obaseki, "Oh, let's forget what has happened. Remove your anger, all this type of thing." Is it a form of intimidation or what? I can't understand that. I can't understand that. Is it the want to tell Obaseki to remove the anger or problem? That's a way of bringing trouble to the state. So we looking at from abroad, it is very, very wrong for him to be, throughout his Obaseki, when he joined the PDP, he never mentioned Ezeoke over there.
Yeah, but you know, whether he told him to calm down. That
I want to find out why is he doing that.
Okay, I'm not aware of that, but let me see if one of my any of my guests is able to. Okay, so I don't know what that meant. That Obaseki, that Ezeoke is telling Obaseki, they can forgive and forget, but whether he says that or not, does it change anything? In my mind, I don't think it changes anything because these are politicians. I wouldn't even be surprised that they are now having a share together and with one bottle of Odeku. It could be happening, you know, because that's how they roll. So, you know, in conclusion here, Alwan, can you please put your concluding thoughts and what you think is going to happen next? What next?
I with having Zamfara, the case in Zamfara in mind, someone has to be a bit scared about what is going on in Edo State. But I think with the experience, and the same party had issues in Zamfara and which other states, about 3 or 4 states. I think we'll build on that and make sure we don't have problems in Edo State.
Okay, so you think the party is going to be able to resolve the whole crisis, that is not going to escalate?
Because there won't be much crisis. Why I said there won't be much crisis is if the sitting governor were to be among the people that contested primary today, that could have been an issue. But he was.
Yeah, but the issue now
turned out.
It's not about the governor. The issue now is about which faction actually produces. So what the party, in my mind, should be doing now is to go back and make sure that the people, those, you know, the gladiators, they don't go to court, because if they do, it's about, let's say, for instance, the other faction that says they have an ex parte order, and which I understand, I think we talked about it when your network was behaving abnormal, that if someone has an ex parte order expires within 2 weeks, isn't it?
2 weeks. Yeah.
2 weeks. So if an ex parte order expires within 2 weeks, then when it was renewed, the question thereof is, let's assume that that ex parte order was renewed last week. From the time of its expiration to this day it was renewed, what happened?
No, but Maazi, I don't know if you know about it. There is an order from the Chief Justice of Abuja saying he has quashed any ex parte order going to any political office holder, like in the party structure. There is an order that came out on Friday from the Chief Judge of Abuja.
So
FCT
if that
Chief
order,
Judge,
okay,
saying,
so if that were to be the case, how did Gordon or whatever, how did he get the ex parte order that he's now parading?
It was after he got the ex parte order on Thursday that the Chief Justice of FCT on Friday brought out a statement that no court should give any body from the party office or from a political party ex parte order.
Okay, so basically he has.
Let me correct that.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Let me correct that. There is no Chief Justice of Abuja. The order Victor Gedam got was from the appeal court. When the other party went to Port Harcourt to get a high court judge, a high court ruling, you know, it doesn't work. The appeal court is superior. The appeal court is superior to the high court, where the Oshomole and his group will have to get the succor from is the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, if it gets there, would decide whether he is on the right track of Victor Gedam is on the right track. It would decide on the judgment or ruling of the appeal court, not a high court.
So, Chief, what you're actually alluding to is that
maybe you haven't heard about it, Maazi.
So what you're actually alluding to is that this case is likely to get to the Supreme Court.
It will.
Wow. So that means APC is not really out of danger and not out of the woods yet. Alwan,
let me tell you,
the party
I'll give you. Let me give you an experience. I'm a chairman of a governing council.
Okay.
The unions, the 3 unions of the institution had problem with the management. One of the union members, the one faction, the union, took the case to court. When they brought it to council, we told the union that went to court that until that case is withdrawn from court, we will not listen to him. The point I'm making is this. That union, the chairman and the secretary of that union had not exhausted the internal mechanism of resolving issues before going to court.
Okay.
We listened to the other 2 unions. They were on suspension, the chairman and the chairman and the secretaries. We recalled them, right, because they did not go to court. Until the 3rd union withdrew the case from court, we had to look at it. Again, in the party, the governing council is like the neck of the party. NWC is like the management of the institution. Why I said that I expected the leaders to come in. Unfortunately, we don't have a BOT inaugurated. If they had come in, we have caucuses at national level. They would have called all these parties fighting. Come, you've gone to court, bring this thing from court. We will settle this thing internally. But, it wasn't done. The reason we are where we are. It's not too late, like I said. If they call a NEC meeting and they take a decision, it will be binding on the NWC, which is not superior to NEC. Then we will now set a direction to go.
Okay, so
I still have hope.
Who has the authority to call a NEC meeting? Is that the president or the party chairman? On a normal situation, the party chairman, national chairman of the party, will ask the national secretary to call for a NEC meeting. But the way it is now, the president is the leader of the party. The president should call for NEC meeting. They called for one last year that was aborted. So if they can call for NEC meeting now, I am sure the issue will be resolved. Are you, you know the reason why I asked that question? The president have not been seen. We are aware that when the crisis started, Obaseki went to see him. Invariably, he couldn't see the president for whichever reason why he couldn't. The question thereof is, if the president appeared to be, I don't want to use the word aloof, or doesn't want to get involved, do you think at this point in time that he actually had someone who just moved from the PDP to become the governorship candidate of APC? Do you think the president will be in a position now to actually do the needful?
Unfortunately, Obaseki has moved over to PDP.
Yes.
And sadly, we have a PDP government in place in Edo State instead of APC. That's the implication.
Actually, yeah, that's a sad reality anyway.
Yes, that's the implication. Well, let's see what happens. And like I said, the mistake Obaseki made in the state, conceding leadership of the party to Comrade Adams Oshomole, is almost the same thing at the national when we see the president as being aloof, right? He also, in his wisdom, said, look, let the leaders run the party. He will want to face government. But when the reality will come down to him, he knows he's the leader. And most of all these things will be held responsible for the unity or otherwise of the party. People are already talking.
Well, thank you very much on that note. I will thank you once more, Chief Edwin Ogunbor, for having the time to join us this evening, explaining the Edo State, political crisis that has led Obaseki to leave his own party and now a member of the PDP. So, as you have said before, and as you kept and you repeated it many times, the Edo State election will be decided by Edo people. On that note, I thank you very much for joining me, and all viewers there, thank you very much for keeping faith with us and joining us in this conversation. Stay tuned. This weekend, we will be bringing you more of such conversations.